1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
altogether. You can't really punish a club or its current owners too much if the sins were of the fathers, the sins were of previous people. But yeah, quite why Manchester City. I mean, you try and look into this, and it's a bit opaque. It's a bit hard to really work out what is happening and why there are these delays. Is it political? Is it because they are a great big club and they must not be allowed to fail? I'm not saying they would fail about this, but maybe given how many charges there are, over 100, maybe they would have to, if they apply even a low-key punishment, given that they take points off of other clubs. Like this season, I think Leicester lost 6th in the Championship, and regularly clubs do lose points for going into administration, which is hardly an active sin. It's more circumstantial, I would have thought. So I don't understand. And until someone steps up and says, look, this is the situation with Manchester City, we don't seem to get any the wiser. But you'd think other clubs, even if Chelsea were just slapped on the wrist with a relatively small fine, would say, well, what's happening up the road there to Manchester City? Why is this not being dealt with?
Yeah.
It's a different subject, but it's what I've said fairly recently in the case of Newcastle and I think Sunderland, both great clubs up there in the northeast, but both of them, they shove the away fans high up in the gods. Particularly thinking of Newcastle, St James's Park, that great stadium. The away fans are way up behind one of the goals, so that you'd have you might just hear them, but they're drowned out, of course, by Newcastle's hordes of very football-mad fans. And I understood it, and I still understand it, that a club is not allowed to do that. It's got to give the away fans a reasonable sight of the pitch and access, if you like, to their team hearing them. But somehow Newcastle and I think Sunderland are not dissimilar to that. But they seem to get away with it. Now, maybe I'm a lone voice in the wilderness about this, but I'm surprised that they're allowed to do that. I mean, Palace, obviously, we're getting our new stand being built from the end of this season, so we'll have a great big stand. But at one end of the pitch, there's a 2-tier big stand, very big stand behind the goal. And if we shoved the away supporters, and there's usually quite a good number of, for Leeds the other day, they sent down a lot of fans, and I think they're very good fans. They support their team, they're noisy, and they're good. They don't cause problems. I don't think many clubs fans do cause problems nowadays. But if they were just shoved up at the back, I would be saying, as a Palace supporter, that's not fair. Their team have got the right to hear them and, benefit from the support that the fans give. So again, it's another anomaly, I think, the fact that the Premier League don't actually seek some sort of an explanation from Newcastle and maybe Sunderland as well about that. And it's like Manchester City. It just seems a bit like one rule for some, one rule for the rich top clubs. Everyone else is not subject to those benefits. But what do I know? It's just something I observe, and it just seems a bit unfair.
Well, it does seem unfair. Now, this one is about Manchester City. So it says Pep Guardiola, Bernardo Silva and Rodri are all expected to leave Manchester City this summer. However, Erling Haaland is more likely to stay and rebuild under a new coach, who is expected to be Enzo Maresca. And this is a source by, this is from the El Nacional. Now, what would the Premier League look like without Guardiola?
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose. 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Premier League look like without Guardiola? Because the others are replaceable. So Rodri, Bernardo Silva. Okay. Pep Guardiola leaving this summer. What
Yeah.
about?
I mean, I think that he mentioned the other day, a week or two ago, about Bernardo Silva being his sort of ever-present. And he's a little guy, isn't he? And yet he's a fantastic footballer. I mean, he's
Yes.
all over the pitch. He's reliable. He's excellent, a real ambassador for that club. And so Rodri, well, he's come back this season. He had a long season out, didn't he? Good player, of course. But I think probably Guardiola will go, and it will be a shame in some ways because he, like Klopp before him, in many ways, he's graced the Premier League with his ability. He's obviously one of the top managers in the world, if not the top. Certainly been the top one, I think, at different times. He's got a personality. I think I've said before, I was a little bit upset with him at the end of the cup final because he had an unnecessary go at Dean Henderson.
Yeah.
I don't think Dean let it upset him too much, but we don't know. It was a bit unnecessary when the joy of winning something we didn't expect to win. And if Dean Henderson wasn't sent off for the handball just outside the area, well, that's not his fault. It would be down to the ref and the VAR. That was all checked, etc. So I was a bit miffed with him. But the other day I was reading something. He was interviewed. It may have been the press conference before the match at the weekend. And he was asked what he will miss about the Premier League. And because again, which signifies he plans to go at the end of the season, I imagine. And he said a couple of things. But the thing which stuck in my mind most of all, and I think he was being serious, I don't think he was being sarcastic or anything. He said, and I think the last thing he said, and I will miss Selhurst Park. And I thought, that's nice, because I think possibly, I hope anyway, what he was referring to was the atmosphere. Teams that come to Selhurst, there's always a good atmosphere. It's an old-fashioned ground, and it will, all being well now, start to be significantly modernised, starting at the end of the season. But it is an old-fashioned, and a lot of people don't really want it to change because we're close to the players. The players like that. The end of last season, they put in a fantastic new sound system around the ground. So the music beforehand, and certainly when they come out to Glad All Over, it's been our song for a long time, it really, it fires you up, it fires the crowd up, it fires the players up. I never understand teams that come out to some something that's not emotional. I mean, I think Liverpool, You'll Never Walk Alone is great. I've been there 2 or 3 times or more where they've all sung that, and I find myself sort of joining in myself. And you tend not to want other Palace fans to see you sort of doing it. So it's such a great song to sing, and it's emotional, and it says it all from the fans to the team. You'll never walk alone. So and Palace's sound system is out of this world. It really is, and it gives a good emotional, dramatic start to the proceedings. So and I hope that's what Guardiola meant, that he comes there, he's close to the fans as he walks along, and he doesn't get booed or anything, but he feels the atmosphere, and I hope that's because, of course, the Etihad, where Man City play, is a great stadium. I've been there, and it's a great stadium, and it's not even impersonal. Strangely enough, a lot of these big stadiums don't generate the atmosphere. Places like the London Stadium for West Ham, Tottenham's new brilliant stadium. Maybe it's the size, I don't know, but they don't always have that kind of difficult to express it. But the noise level, the sound of the crowd. I think the Emirates has got more of that. Although some people say that can be like a library, which is what football fans accuse the opposition fans of being like. But so if he misses Selhurst Park, I think that's a good thing to say, because there's only a couple of stadiums now in the Premier League which are kind of old-fashioned. I think Bournemouth is the lowest capacity of about 10 or 11,000. But I like that ground. I mean, it's a great little ground, and good atmosphere again. But gradually, these stadiums are being phased out and replaced.
Yeah, as it should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shows improvement. Right, okay, so this is all we've got time for on this segment one of the football referee. So we implore you to join us on the second segment as we discuss more interesting topics about football. So I've been Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos. Let's go.
And I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me bro.
Right, so see you on the second segment.
See you on the other side.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.